Hello everyone, and welcome to the Super Mario 64 TAS competition, Task 8 results stream. Oops. I accidentally did my task on the IQ version. Let me fix that.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
There we go. Is that better? Alright, there were a ton of entrants to this competition. A ton of entrants. There were 64 entrants to this competition. There's actually a reference to the number in the background, Super Mario 64. Great reference to competition organizers. So, without further ado, let's get into the competition. Starting out in 64th place, better luck next time to... Sorry, 62nd, there were two DQs I should have mentioned. Anyways, in 62nd, Mr. Shots, with a time of 15.50, 4 A-presses, and 6 re-records. Let's load up his run. Have to navigate to the folder. Mr. Shots. Starting out, needs to go into the warp. Very optimal, right here. Optimal play. Oh, there's an A-press. There you go. Yes. Good job to Mr. Shots. Next time, you know, do the task. Do some diving, etc. Next up, in 61st place, 61st, SilentSlayers, with a time of 15.27, 2 A-presses and 19 re-records. Let's load up his run. Okay, stop missing the button. SilentSlayers. Yes, the time is already added. The A-press count is already added. SilentSlayers also did his at the last minute, although it's considerably more optimized than Mr. Shots' is. There's one. There you go. That is his whole run. Good job to SilentSlayers using 2 A-presses for that submission. The 15.27 already has the 2 seconds added on. All of these times already have the 2 seconds added onto the total time. Anyways, next up, in 60th, Guy Clicking with a time of 14:10, 1 A-press, and an unknown amount of re-records. Let's load up his run. Re-record count says 9,500. Not sure if I believe that. Goes into the warp. Does the punch trick there, doing a lot of diving here. Goes onto the pillar. Does a long jump across. And then some kicks up around the side. And lands and goes into the star. Good job to Guy Clicking, finishing in 60th place. Next up, in 59th place, Venmox, with a time of 13.50 A-presses and 420 re-records. What an odd number. First person to beat the task without pressing A once. Probably wasn't worth it based on the time. Very unfortunate. Description, I suck. No, you don't. Goes into the warp. Does the standard punch trick. Some jump dives over here. Goes around past the twister. And just frame walks up the volcano into the star with a slide kick and a star dance clip at the very end to be able to finish faster. Good job to Venmo, finishing in 59th place. I do love me some 59s. Next up, In 58th place, sorry, I meant to say pyramid there, not the volcano. Oops, I accidentally did my task in Lethal Lava Land. In 58th place, 9fly with a time of 13.43, 3 A presses, and 19 re-records. Let's load up his run. Once again, starting off, needs to go into the warp. Some dives right here. A long jump across. Some kicks. Another long jump to be able to get up with speed, and just jumps over that little thing into a dive into the star. Good job to 9fly, finishing in 58th place. Good job. Next up, in 57th place, the Writer's Mind. The first sub-13 time with 12.93, 0 A presses, and 51 re-records. Let's load up his run. Description: first ever TAS task, good luck. Smiley face. Goes into the warp. Does the punch trick to get a little bit more speed. Does quite a bit of dives. Probably going to go onto the pillar. No, goes all the way around. Grabs the box. The first person I've seen use the box so far. You can actually jump on the quicksand with the help of that box and just slides all the way into the star. Good job to the Writer's Mind, coming in 57th place. First person to use the box. Love that box. Next up, in 56th, Nim. Secret of Nim. Time of 12.90, beating the Writer's Mind by a frame, with 3 A presses and 198 re-records. Let's load up his run. Nim, famous for being one letter away from Nis. Didn't read a description. Accidentally skipped it too fast. Unfortunate. Ground pounds into the warp, immediately long jumps to get some speed. Long jumps off of the pillar, a very different route so far than any of the other competitors. Jumps over and then goes onto the star. Good job to Nim, finishing in 56th place. Next up, in 55th place, Forever Park, beating Nim by 1/10 of a second with 1 A press and 152 re-records. Let's load up his run. Where are you? Where's your M64? Forever Park. Description: no description. Misspelled that, dude. Punching his way into the warp. Does the punch trick. Give yourself a little bit of extra speed boost at the start. Long jumps all the way over the quicksand. Does some AB kicks. More AB kicks just to be able to get up the pyramid relatively quickly. And just goes straight into the star. Good job to Forever Park, beating out Nim by 1/10 of a second, finishing in 55th place. Next up, in 54th place, Skepex. Time of 12.77, 0 A presses, and 1,455 re-records. Better luck next time to Skepex. Let's watch your run. Beating out the previous competitor by, I believe, 1 frame. Starting out sleeping. Punches and then crouches directly into the warp. Going in a straight line. All the way around. Some grinding there. Frame walking up the pyramid and into the star with a slide kick and another star dance clip. Second person I've seen use that. Great job to Skepex. Finishing in 54th place. Next up, in 53rd place, Scuttlebug Razor, finishing with a time of 12.47, 1 A press, and 0 question mark re-records. Let's load up his run. Yes, that was a well-optimized route by Skepex, but unfortunately, probably wasn't the fastest route. Where are you, Scuttlebug Razor? Where are you? Where'd you go? Might be some technical difficulties here. Are there? Where are you? Sorry, having some difficulties finding his file. All of the files are here. Just trying to find out what he actually named it. Make sure to name your TASes correctly, everyone. Sorry, 1 second while I address this issue. Alright, his file was named Super Mario 64 USA .m64 ? Question mark? Fortunately, his file was not sent in the zip folder. Give me 1 minute while I get this file. Make sure to name your files correctly and just making it very easy to actually play it back. Alright, downloading it as we speak. Alright, let's play back this file. Sorry, Scuttlebug Razor, for not including your thing. There you go. Scuttlebug Razor, make sure to name your files correctly when you submit them, everyone, to prevent this from happening. Anyways. Goes into the warp. Doesn't do the punch trick, I believe. A little bit of dust there. Long jumps across. Gets some speed before going up the pyramid, and AB kicking into the star. Great job to Scuttlebug Razor, finishing with a time of 12.47 in 53rd place. Next up, in 52nd place, Matt. Time of 12.43, 0 A presses, and 6 re-records. Let's load up his run. Have to navigate back. Matt, there we go. Description, let me guess, I'm in 48th place. Close, you're actually in 52nd. Better luck next time to Matt. Doesn't do a punch trick, immediately starts running. Goes in a straight line. Gets a little bit of speed from that slope into the box. Dives into it. And just jumps all the way into the star. Great job to Matt. First person I've seen go all the way into the star from the box grab. Finishing in 52nd place. Next up, in 51st, Op Roasts. The time of 12.33, 1 A press, and 67 re-records. Let's load up his run. Again, starting off by going into the warp. Where is he going? Long jumping up this side of the pyramid. First person I've seen use any route even close to this. Kicking all the way over the top and going straight into the star. Good job to Op Roast with probably the most unique route so far. Finishing in 51st place. Now, for the big 5-0, next up, in 50th place, Xander, time of 12.17, 1 A press, and 533 re-records. Let's load up his run. Description, Task 8 Lotad. Punches into the warp. Does a jump dive at the very start to get some more speed. Does another person diving into the box, bouncing all the way into the star. Great job to Xander, finishing in 50th place. Next up, in 49th place, Blue... oh man, I forgot how to say it. Blue Pyero. There we go. finishing with a time of 12.13, 2 A presses, and 132 re-records. Let's load up his run. Bloop. Author, Blue P Air O. Description, pronounce it right, Ted. Dang it. Goes into the tree. Another person going up this side of the pyramid with just a bit more kicks. That dive grind there probably saved him quite a bit of time. Does a dive with the very edge, able to dive recover over that corner and make it into the star. Unfortunately, he untapped A by mistake during the long jump, making him press A one more time and get himself a slightly worse score. Better luck next time to Bloop. Very unfortunate. Next up, in 48th place, Patachu, the time of 12.10, barely beating out Bloop with 1 A press and 81 re-records. Let's load up his run. Post all your sad faces in the chat for Bloop. Description, brute force. Already going into the warp. Very similar strategy to the previous competitors. A lot more jump kicks. And just walks all the way around into the star. Good job to Patachu, finishing in 48th place. Next up, in 47th, Luigihaxd, finishing with a time of 11.80, first person with a sub 12, 3 A presses, and 3,463 re-records, the most amount of re-records of anyone so far. Let's load up their run. Description, plushie is very plushy. I agree. Crouches into the warp. Does the punch trick right there. A fast dive recovery to be able to get here so fast. Quite a bit of diving to be able to go very quickly. And just go straight into the star. Oh no, was that a bad submission? Was that an older submission by Luigihaxd? What's going on with this? I don't know. Sorry, giving a bit of technical difficulties with Luigihaxd's submission. Give me 1 second while I fix this. Sorry about that, everyone. Was there an incorrect time on that? Quite a few difficulties this time, I apologize. On behalf of the tournament organizers. Might have to do a little bit of restructuring. Alright, timing it currently as we speak. Let me compare this file to the previous file already submitted. Apologize for all the technical difficulties this time. The file submitted was the same. It was probably just a mistiming on behalf of the tournament organizers. Yes, it was a mistiming. Let me fix all of these issues. I apologize to Luigihaxd. Let me do this. Sorry, I have to update the entirety of results, which includes setting every person to something different now. Ooh, that is a significantly different spot for Luigihaxd. Oh, that's actually pretty dang nice. Sorry, let me update every single person. Oh, dang it. What'd I do wrong here? Please, in the meantime, ask Cosmic D12 questions about his dog. Okay. Getting the files as we speak. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. So where were we? 47th place. That's where we were. 47th place. Super Davo 1001. The time of 11.77, 2 A presses, and 125 re-records. Let's load up his run. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone. Results were a bit incorrect. Davo says, done in 10 minutes. Would still bop and not plush, though, if he entered. Because he sucks. Goes into the warp. Goes all the way up the pillar, long jumps across. Kicks, long jumps over. And kicks, goes all the way into the star from above. Good job to Super Davo, finishing in 47th place. Next up, in 46th place, Comma 2, the time of 11.70, 1 A press, and 24 re-records. Let's load up his run. Description: FDSGG, referencing the famous Famicom disk system. Long jumps all the way over. Kicks up. Kicks across the corner. Does a turnaround and goes into the star. Saving time there by not doing any more A presses, unlike some of the other competitors. Good job to Comma, finishing in 46th place. Next up, in 45th place, Maple Strip, finishing with a time of 11.67, 3 A presses, and 67 re-records. Let's load up their run. Loading it up as we speak. Description: I can make Ted say whatever I want. No. No, you can't. I'm not reading the rest. Better luck next time. Goes into the warp. Long jumps, gets some speed. Long jumps again to be able to get up to the pyramid corner. Seems to be a lot of common thinking of this. Does a jump dive into the star. Good job to Maple Strip, finishing in 45th place. Next up, in 44th place, Bubisha, finishing the time of 11.63, 1 A press, and 78 re-records. Let's load up their run. Description: la la la. Goes into the warp. Does some jump kicks to be able to conserve speed. Speed kicks, as they're called. Grabs the box and slides directly into the star. Good job to Bubisha, finishing in 44th place. Next up, In 43rd place, the famous Super Mario World TASer, Mr. Piet, 1001, finishing with a time of 11.60. All of these runs have been very close, beating each other by singular frames the past 4 runs, with 0 A presses and 146 re-records. Let's load up his run. Alright. Punches into the warp. There you go. Dives around the pink bomb. Avoids all the coins. A little bit of dust here. Turns around to be able to grab the box faster. And just slides directly into the star. Good job to Mr. Piet, finishing in 43rd place. Next up, in 42nd place, also beating the previous competitor by 1 singular frame, Yo, what's up? With a time of 11:57, 1 A press and 70 re-records. Let's look at his run. Description: Wubadubdub0x IDK yet lol. Let's watch his run. Oops. There you go. Jumps into the warp, very different than all the other competitors. Does the punch trick to get a little bit more speed. Long jumps across all the way up the side of the pyramid, jump kicks over here, goes up the corner, and slide kicks into the star. Great job to Yo, what's up? Continuing this train of 1 frame improvements that's been going on for 5 runs, I believe, at this time. Finishing in 42nd place. Next up, in 41st place, Swaggy Bread, finishing with a time of 11.5 seconds, 0 A presses, and 55 re-records, finally breaking the train of 1 frame improvements. Let's load up his run. Their run. Swaggy Bread. Whoa. Whoa there. Going up the corner. No, does a C up trick to be able to go over faster. Unfortunately, how do you get out of it? Punches, goes roughly into the star. That was a great run right there. First person to use the C up trick. I'm expecting that used a lot from some of the top competitors. Great run by Swaggy Bread. Very, very cool route. Living up to his name of Swaggy. Not so much the bread part, though. Good job, finishing in 41st place. Next up, in 40th place, Rush57 with a time of 11.43, 1 A press, and 37 re-records. Let's load up his run. Their run, sorry. Gotta stop saying that. Description: exams, Manka S. I agree. I definitely agree. Does the punch trick, as is standard. Long jumps across. Does some kicks to be able to get up the corner. A bit more kicks to be able to cut across even faster. And just goes directly into the star. Good job to Rush57, finishing in 40th place. Next up, in 39th place, Nathan, finishing with a time of 11.37, 0 A presses, and 68 re-records. Let's load up their run. Stop it. Description: Uyu Yafu. I believe a lot of people are just spamming in the descriptions. Doing some dives and dive recovers to be able to make it to the box. Dives into the box to be able to get a better starting position. And just lands directly on the star. Good job to Nathan, finishing in 39th place. Next up, in 38th place, the player we all know and love, Blue Block Gaming. The first person to be more than 3 frames ahead of his competitor in quite a bit, finishing with a time of 11.23, 2 A presses, and 33 re-records. Thank you for the bits, Nathan. Let's watch Blue Block's run. Description, no description entered. Lots of spaces. JK. Glad I saw that. Goes into the warp. Just doing some dives over here into the long jump, going up the long jump, up the corner strat with jump kicks, but actually jumps over the corner, dives into the star, and does a star dance clip on the side of the pyramid. Been a long time since we've seen that strat. To be able to land faster and get a slightly faster time, probably beating Nathan because of that star dance clip right there at the very end. Great job to Blue Block, finishing in 38th place. Next up, in 37th place, Can Kicker 8, finishing with a time of 11.13, 3 A presses, and 779 re-records. Let's load up his run. The legendary Can Kicker. Description, RIP GTX 580F to pay me money. Well, you heard the man. Starting without a cap. First person to go capless in this competition so far. Does the punch trick into a long jump. Another long jump to be able to get some speed. Lots of kicks here to be able to conserve it. Some dive grinds right there, and does a jump dive into the star. Very well optimized run, but unfortunately just used too many A presses. Better luck next time to Can Kicker. Next up, in 36th place, Endurance, finishing with a time of 11.07, 0 A presses, and 4 re-records. Let's load up their run. Endurance beating the legendary Can Kicker. Alright. Starting out outside of the warp. Doesn't do the punch trick, doesn't need it. Just doing dive recovers into a box grab. Into the star. Just great optimization, somehow managing to get a very fast time with only 4 re-records. Great job to Endurance, finishing in 36th place, almost getting in the top half. Next up, in 35th place, Kiko No, the SM64 DS TASer. Surprised he did his run on the correct game, finishing with a time of 10.97, first sub 11, 2 A presses, and 355 re-records. Let's load up his run. Going into the warp. Doing 2 long jumps right at the very start. Kicking up the side of the pyramid. Little dive there. And goes into the star. Great job to Skiko. Barely missing on the top half of the competition. Finishing in 35th place. Next up. In 34th place. Non-5N5E. Finishing... Just kidding. 31st place, rather. Quiet Engineer 25, finishing with a time of 10.83, 1 A press, and 432 re-records. Let's load up their run. Wow. What a tie here. Backflipping into the warp. Punch trick right there to be able to go faster. Long jumps to be able to make it up the pyramid. That's the second right there. Just runs around, kicks, and is able to run into the star. Good job to Quiet Engineer. Doesn't need to be flashy, just needs to go fast. Finishing in 31st place. Next up, also in 31st place, That Psy Kid, also with a time of 10.83, 1 A press, and 168 re-records. Good job to That Psy Kid. Let's watch you run. Description: SM64, watch for rolling pyramids, question mark X A presses, commentated. Nice meme, dude. Goes into the warp. Does a jump dive there, and a rollout to be able to make it up here faster. Some dive guns there into another dive and into a bonk to get the star. Good job to That Psy Kid, finishing in 31st place. Next up, also in 31st place, Lecture/Fraud Exposure, coming for Not Plush, the time of 10.83, 4 A presses, and 375 re-records. Let's throw up his run. There he is. Misses the punch into the warp. Having trouble getting into the warp. How do you do it? Has to walk away to be able to go in. Punches into 2 long jumps to be able to go fast. Jump dives, goes over the top. First person I've seen use the top of the pyramid. That wasn't banned in this task. You can get the pyramid before it starts, I believe. That was the cheese I was seeing that not enough people took advantage of. Good job to Fraud Exposer, exposing all of the frauds above you that didn't use that cheese. Next up, also in the final 31st spot, Arepa Con Karaota, also with a time of 10.83, 0 A presses, and 575 re-records. Let's load up their run. A description: surf through the danger. This does some diving over here into the box, into a fast turnaround with the help of the, turnaround. Lands from the box and goes into the star. Good job to Arepa Con Karaota, being the final person to finish in 31st place. Because of that big tie for 31st, I believe we had over half of the people finish in the top half. Good job to them. Next up, in 30th place, finally breaking the tie, Silwer328 with a time of 10.70, 1 A press, and 119 re-records. Let's load up his run. Description: should I get a good place this time? Yes. Yes, you should. Goes into the warp. Just runs all the way over here into a long jump, kicks to conserve speed. A lot of people did it. Dives, bonks, and goes into the star. Good job to Silver, finishing in 30th place. Next up, in 29th place, Cosmic D12, finishing with a time of 10.57, closest you can get to 10.59, 3 A presses, and 366 re-records. Let's load up his run. Cosmic, well known for having the world record in basically every single Super Mario Bros. Thing, and having a fantastic dog. Author Cosmic, description A. Goes into the warp. Long jumps at the very start, does a slide kick into some jumps to be able to make it over. Wow, what a run right here. Into the very corner of it with a star dance clip. That was a very unique run. Great job to Cosmic. Unfortunately, probably using a bit too many A presses, but dang, that looked cool. Good job. Good job to Cosmic, finishing in the top 30 this competition in 29th place. Next up, in 28th, Go-Go, the time of 10.43, 0 A presses, and 111 ring records. Let's watch their run. Description: I dislike the A button. Author, ya boy Go-Go. Starting off, nice punch off the block there. Diving here at the very start. I don't believe he used the punch trick, making it all the way to the box. Just immediately grabbing the box, not diving to be able to save time, so you don't have to stand up from the dive. That's what a lot of people earlier did wrong. They dived into the box so that you had to wait and stand up. That's very slow. Good job to Go-Go, finishing in 28th place. Doing very respectable. Next up, in 27th place, Jesus, well known for dying for the sins of people, finishing with a time of 10.40, 2 A presses, and 4,670 re-records. Let's load up his run. Author, Jesus of Suburbia. Goes immediately into the warp. Does the punch trick there. Some fancy dives, long jumps across. Some very fast jump hooks into there, into a jump into the star. Good job to Jesus, finishing in 27th place. He is risen, as they say, into 27th. Next up, in 26th, Alaminar, finishing with a time of 10.17, with a pretty large cut of 0.27, one of the largest cuts we've seen in a while, with 0 A presses and 688 re-records. Let's load up his run. There, run. Description done in 0.25 A presses. Wow, what a meme. Does the punch trick to get a little bit of extra speed. Another person doing the C-up slide doesn't want to jump to get up from that, because that would cost a full second, and just grabs the crazy box and goes directly into the star. Great job to Alaminar, finishing in 26th place. Saving and quitting so that I have to mess with my save files later. Please don't do that. Why would you do that? I'm mad at you. Thanks for that. Next up, in 25th place, Timestoppa, finishing with a time of 10.13, 2 A presses, and 4,164 re-records. Let's load up his run. Why did you do that to me? Why did you mess with my save files like that? Description: first time using Ghost Hack and input direction Lua. Also, I put a lot of work into this. I hope I get a good ranking. I'd say you did pretty well, getting in top 25. Does the punch trick right there. Goes all the way up the pillar, jump dives over it, and kicks into the star. No nonsense, you haven't gone yet. Great job to Timestoppa, finishing in 25th place. Next up, in 24th place, Syntax, the time of 10.07, 0 A presses, and 320 re-records. Let's watch their run. Author, me. Description, me. Fair. Does the punch trick, barely avoids the hat stealer right there. Does a very fast turn into the crazy box grab into the star. Good job to Syntax, finishing in 24th place. Very well done. I liked the optimization there. Next up, not getting sub 10, 3 Zach M. Very unfortunate, finishing with a time of 10 seconds flat. 2 A presses and 477 re-records. Finishing in 22nd. Let's watch his run. Good job for getting a top half, Zach. Almost getting top 20. Description: I'm out of ideas. Crawls into the warp. Doesn't use the punch trick, probably loses a frame there. Slide kicks across into a jump. Wow. Good job, Zach. Better luck next time on getting sub 10. I did like that route a lot. Oh, this is a long task. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch all of it. Better luck next time again to Zach. Oh my god, is he crawling? He's crawling. Nope, not again. Next up, also on 22nd, Madghostek, also barely missing the sub 10 with 0 A presses and 3,309 re-records. Let's throw up their run. Oops, don't click on Luigihaxd. Madghostek. Goes into the warp. Does the punch trick right there. Does some fast dives to the up of the pillar. A very fast, if you can say quick turn, into the crazy box, into the star. Good job to Madghostek, finishing in 22nd place, tied with Zach. Next up, finally getting the sub 10, impossible for them not to at this point. SilentSlayers with a time of 9.97, 1 A press, and 197 re-records, finishing in 21st. Let's load up that run. Description: Bubbly64 does, in fact, splice Craft W. I don't know what Craft W is. Goes into the warp. Does the punch trick right there. Long jumps across. Does a fancy dive grind there to be able to get some fast speed and go straight into the star. Clearly a very optimized run. Good job to SilentSlayers. Finishing with a time of sub 10. Next up, in 20th place, anshwo. That is a hard one to say. Finishing with a time of 9.80, 1 A press, and 152 re-records. Let's watch their run. Starting off on the side of the warp, one of the first competitors I've seen do that. Punch goes in a straight line into the corner. The second person I've seen use the top using that little mini cheese right there to save just a tiny bit of time. Good job to anshwo. Finishing in 20th place. Next up, in 19th place, Conor mcmahon. I wonder who that's from. Finishing with a time of 9.77, 1 A press, and 12 re-records. Doing very well for 12 re-records. Great job to Conor. The punch trick, by the way, is a trick to punch right before you start running, and it gives you a bit more speed than just running with the control stick. Sorry, I should have mentioned that for some of the newer competitors. Description: run starts at frame 4800 to 400 input. Rest is setup. Also, re-records is wrong. Alright, we gotta watch some setup here. Watching this on fast. Goes into... just trying to make his way to the warp right here. No, doing the cheese. Trying to cheese his way. Has to open the pyramid. That's why I'm speeding this up, because pretty much already knew as soon as what he was going to do. Pyramid is opening up. Just going into the warp. There we go. Now, his setup can start. There we go. Now his run is indeed starting. Just wanted to show off that you can, in fact, open the pyramid. Kicking up the side. And diving directly into the star. Great job to Conor. Finishing with a top 20 placement with only 12 re-records. Great job. Next up, in 18th place, Alex won with a time cut of 0.2, also with 1 A press and 517 re-records. Let's load up his run. Description: oh no. Oh yes. Slides into the warp. Going up the pillar? No, going all the way up here to get a little bit of speed. Jump kicks across. Wow. Very fast into the star. Very unique route. I haven't seen anyone else do a route really similar to that. Great job to Alex. Finishing with a time of 9.57 and 18th place. That was a great route. Next up, in 17th place, Cynimal, finishing with a time of 9.37, also cutting off 0.2. with an pressing A once and 1,091 re-records. Let's watch their run. Description: the cheese is inevitable. I agree. Trying to make his way onto the pillars, speeding this up because, whoa there, nice C up slide. Activates the top. Another C up slide, just to be able to make it into the warp. Now goes back in. Runs on the tree a little bit to get some speed. Very unique strat. Haven't seen really anyone else do that so far up to this point. And does a start dance clip right there into the corner of the star. Great job to Cynimal. Even the setup was cool with 2 Z up slides on the quicksand. The tree strats being used to their maximum potential. Next up, in 16th place, SpeedyCube64. Time of 9.30, 2 A presses, and 865 re-records. Let's watch his run. Their run. That description's too long, I'm not reading it. Better luck next time. Crawls into the warp, very unique entrance. Haven't seen that 5 times. Punches to get a little bit more speed, long jumps across, not over the corner, just going for a more direct route, and diving into the star. Great job to SpeedyCube, almost getting top 15 in this task. How many coins did you have? I didn't even notice. Oh god, how long is this gonna last? 345. There we go, that's how many coins. Great job to SpeedyCube, finishing in 16th place. Next up, for the top 15. Top 14, rather. A tie for 14th place. DyllonStej. Time of 9.27, 1 A press, and 3,375 re-records. Dylan, well known for his Smash Bros. TASs. Description: there's only 2 things certain in this world. Taxes and my bad task placement. You didn't even do that bad. Not going into the warp. Instead, going for the cheese. Speed this up. Don't worry about the setup time, that's what fast forward's for. Making his way all the way into the warp now. Doing a pretty fast long jump there with the help of that dive recover. And just dives with a star dance clip into the star. Great job to Dylan. The cheese there is opening the top of the pyramid, which I believe a lot of the task organizers didn't even realize they could have done themselves. Good job to Dylan. Also, tied in 14th place, Tomato Bird 8, also with a time of 9.27, also using 1 A press, but with a lower re-record count of 1,897. Who hosted me? Thank you for the host, Cosmic. Let's watch their run. Tomato Bird. Description: yep, you guessed it, Ted. Still not allowed to read this. Oh no. I read it. Goes into the warp. -8 lives. His hat's now back on. There's a fast dive recover there into some grinds to be able to get over faster, get some speed to be able to dive, and dives into the star. Good job to Tomato Bird, finishing with a time of 9.27 and a tie for 14th place. Great job. Next up, in 12th place. Is that another tie? Already? Wow. 12th place, fifdspence. Time of 9.23, 1 A press, and 1,814 re-records. Let's load up their run. Description: Aardvark. That's a fun word. Goes into the warp. Already has the top of the pyramid off. Does a dive recover into some long jumps into some kicks. And just dives directly into the star. Great job to fifdspence, finishing in 12th place. Next up, also in 12th place, Jongyon, doing very well in this task. Great job, Jongyon, finishing in 9.23 with 2 A presses, first person with 2 in a while, and 4,721 re-records. Great job, Jongyon, barely missing top 10. Let's watch your run. Description: you guys forgot you can misalignment into the pyramid ledges. I didn't know you could do that. Starts off already getting the pyramid top off using the cheese very well. Goes over here, long jumps over, not the best running, but either way, good job. And dives directly into the star. Great job, Jongyon. Finishing with a time of 12. A placement of 12, a time of 9.23. Great job to Jongyon. Doing very well at this task. Next up, here it comes, the top 10. In 10th place. Wait, what? Never mind. In 11th, what? Okay. What? How does that work? How is there a tie and then it doesn't matter? 11th place, Laython, time of 9.17, 1 A press, and 4,669 re-records. I don't know how that happened. That's an issue on the task results that were sent to me, so sorry about that. Laython, we'll watch her run twice, just because I hyped it up. Description: Laython, with an H please, I'm not a professor, neither a pro, maybe a fesser. I didn't make the joke this time, are you proud of me? Barely misses the bird. Some kicks up. A bit more kicks into a star dance clip right at the end. Good job, Laython. Good luck on getting your top 10 next time. Let's watch that one more time. Just because I hyped it up so much, and I feel bad that he wasn't top 10. Long jumps into some kicks. Into a dive, into a star dance clip. Into the star. Or star into star dance clip, rather. Great job to Laython. Next up, in 10th place, somehow, I'm not really sure how this happened, but somehow, homerfunky, the legend, finishing with a time of 9.1, 1 A press, and 398 re-records. Let's watch his run. Falls into the warp. Uses the tree a little bit. 2 dives and rollouts there. Getting a bunch of speed. Goes all the way over and dives into the star, crossing over the corner there. Great job to homerfunky, finishing in 10th place. Let's watch that one more time. Where'd you go? There you are. Not using the cheese, and still getting top 10. Great job to homerfunky. That dive grind there helping him very much, getting him a lot of speed. Great job to homerfunky. Next up, in 9th place, Desire. Beating homerfunky by 1 frame with 1 A press and 691 re-records. Let's watch their run. slowly walks into the warp. All the way over here. Wow, first person I've seen go to the left at the very start. With a long jump into basically the same route as homerfunky, except with a kick at the end. Great job to Desire. Doing very well in this competition. Getting top 10. Next up. In 8th place. The legendary Dargos. Tesseract, if you will. Finishing with a time of 9 seconds flat. 1 A-press and 5,777 re-records. Let's load up his run. Barely missing the sub 8. Does a punch trick there into a dive rollout, long jump into some AB kicks, using the cheese to go over the top and just dives directly into the star. Good job to Dargos, finishing in 8th place. Next up, in 6th place, finally getting shown off their rightful place, Luigihaxd, finishing the time of 8.93. Great job to Luigihaxd. Sorry we showed off your run way too early because of a timing inaccuracy. There you go. Description, plushy is very plushy. I agree. Look at how fast this run is. Look at those dives, look at those grinds, and look at that star dance clip right at the very end into the star. Great job to Luigihaxd, cutting off 41 places from where they originally were placed in the results. Great job, dude. Great job. Next up, also tied for 6th, CeeSZee. Finishing the time of 8.93, 1 A-press, and 14,258 re-records. Wow, someone used Lua. Great job to CeeSZee, getting top 6th in this competition. Let's load up his run. I am not reading that description. You guys should check out that M64 yourself if you want to see what it says, but I'm not reading that. It goes into the warp. Some fast walking there with the help of that dive. Goes all the way over here. Dives over the top of the entrance into the star. Great job to CeeSZee, getting top 6 with the help of his 14,000 re-records. Next up, in 5th place, Krithalith, finishing with a time of 8.87, 1 A-press, and 2,561 re-records. Let's load up their run. Description: second TAS. Sorry for long TAS. Was unsure about Rule 19. Getting... What place were you? 5th place with your second TAS? I see some good stuff for you. Great job. Let's speed up the cheese here, as they inevitably used. Yes. Did they? Yes, they definitely did. Getting the final pillar now. Going into the warp. Doing a dive and a dive recovery to go across, long jumping up and diving into the star, getting top 5 on their second task. Great job to Krithalith, doing very, very well. If that's your second task, I shudder to see how fast you'll beat all the people on your, 8th. Next up, in 4th place, Nis, with a time of 8.73, 1 A-press, and 7,777 re-records. Let's load up their run. I should mention CeeSZee was beaten by someone doing their second task. Just wanted to throw that out there, so that could be in the video. Great job, Nis. Doing the punch trick there. Long jumping up the corner. Going all the way to the side, diving over the top, and getting the star with the help of a star dance clip. Great job to Nis. Finishing in top 4, barely missing a medal. Great job. Next up, I haven't been watching these repeatedly. I should be watching these twice. Let's watch Nis's one more time. I apologize for all the people that I forgot to watch repeatedly. This is going at the correct speed. Just doing very well, very optimized, going over the hole at the end. Great job to Nis. Make sure not to spoil any of the results if you think you know who they are. We want them to be a surprise. Next up, for the top 3, in 3rd place, SM64 expert, living up to his name, getting bronze medal in this competition, getting at the time of 8.60, 1 A-press, and 1,711 re-records. Let's watch their run. Punches right there. Very fast dive and dive recover. Does the long jump up the corner. I'm beginning to think that might be the fastest strat, with a bunch of dive grinds there to get a bunch of speed. Goes across the corner and goes into the star. Great job to SM64 expert, getting 3rd in this competition. Let's watch that one more time. One more time. Getting 3rd with no cheese. That's right, you don't need cheese to win these competitions. Just doing very well. I agree, that grind there was great. Got a bunch of speed there. Next up, for the top 2, in 2nd place, you all know who it is, MKDasher, finishing with a time of 8.53, 1 A-press, and 4232 re-records, a famous reference to the famous TASer Nis. Let's load up their run. Please don't spoil if you know who the winner is. Description: congrats to CeeSZee on 1st place. No, CeeSZee lost to someone on their 2nd TAS. He didn't get 1st. Bonks into the warp. Long jumps across. Also not using the cheese. Oh no. Very unfortunate. Just doing a faster version of SM64 experts. Great job to MKDasher. Let's watch that one more time. Once again, not using the cheese. Who needs the cheese if you just have great tassing skills? Well, I'll tell you who needs the cheese. The person who got 1st, because they definitely use this cheese. Great job to MKDasher with a very optimized route there. Great execution, as expected by the Super Mario 64 and tons of other games master. And now, for the winner of this task, in 1st place, Luke Soward, finishing at the time of SilentSlayers, finishing at the time of 8.43, beating MKDasher by 3 frames, 1 A-press, and 13,193 re-records. Let's watch the winning run. I can't find Luke Soward. Where is he? Goes into the warp. Guess what? He used the cheese. Fast dive grinds there and just goes barely over the corner, barely using the cheese. Fortunately, he was able to save 2 frames with it, according to him. finished 3 frames faster, so he would have finished first without the cheese regardless, but either way, great job to SilentSlayers. Let's watch that 2 more times, once on regular speed and once in slow motion. Yes, didn't even need the cheese to win, just used it to get an even faster time. Wow, that was fast. So fast, it's even hard for me to just comment over it, because it's done in less than 10 seconds. And now for the final rewatch. Does the punch trick there to get a little bit of extra speed. Dives and does dive recover to be able to get a bunch of speed with that run. Long jumps all the way up. Does a kick, does some dive grinds on the ledge there to be able to go fast. Dives and does a dive recover up the corner. Barely gets the star, grabs the ledge and does a star dance clip right at the very end. Great job to SilentSlayers. Finishing in first place, winning another competition. Winning another task of this competition, I should say. Don't leave just yet, though. We still have 2 more runs to watch. We still have the 2 DQs. The first DQ, not plush. File is 0 seconds long. I can't wait to see this TAS. Description: Alien teacher, world record attempts. That's the run. That's the entire thing. That's it. Let's watch this again so I can give better commentary on it. Not plush. Does a jump right at the very beginning while changing camera to be able to better get into the warp. Unfortunately, misses the warp. And then, you know, doesn't do anything and, you know, slow-mo? Okay. Super duper slow-mo. 30% speed. One more time watching this back. Definitely want to see it. Look at this. Whoa, look at that jump. You almost missed it when watching in full speed. Now though it's over. That's it. That's everything. Good job to not plush. Next time, do the task. And next, the other DQ. Cecilia, submitted for Japanese ROM. Very unfortunate. The ROM you were supposed to use was the US ROM for this competition. Very, very unfortunate. Make sure you're using the correct ROM. Switched over to Japanese real quick. Not sure what the time is for this. Looks like they're going the Crazy Box route. Getting on Crazy Box, bonking, and going directly into the star. Good job to Cecilia. That was the final DQ, but don't leave just yet. We have yet another run to show off. This run was just sent to me by MKDasher. It was Cynimal's old run. Thank you for whoever that was that just gave me something. Not exactly sure what it was. Oh, 100 bits. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for N64. Let's watch the one final M64. This was Cynimal's old entry. I'm still on Japanese. That's not gonna work. I gotta switch. Gotta switch back. There we go. Was told to play this because it was sick. Gonna watch this one in full because not really sure what I'm doing. The slide kick there. Setting up the cheese right here. Nice Z up slide. Into a punch to conserve even more speed. Did he not get... what? He didn't activate the cheese. He cheeses it there. What? No way. What? What? I didn't see that coming at all. Let's watch that one more time because what?
Let's go.
Speed up this setup section right here. Don't need to watch this again. This is why I was sent this, because they definitely wanted this to be shown off. Going up onto the pillar to activate the pyramid spinning, going across, and then using the spinning pyramid just to go all the way over to the star. Great job to Cynimal. This was Cynimal's run, not Cecilia's. Truly doing the expert cheese. Unfortunately, that wasn't slow, but it was so cool. We had to show it off. Anyways, that was the Super Mario 64 Task Competition Task 8 results stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Task 9 was just released. Task 9 was in Tall Tall Mountain. Warp to the top of the mushroom with the red coins and collect any star. You have to collect at least 20 coins and collect at least 2 1-up mushrooms. Can't interact with any enemies whatsoever. No collecting coins before time starts. No grabbing anything before time starts. No breaking any boxes before time starts. And begin recording just before warping. It's a solo task. That task is due on May 12th at 11 p.m. GMT. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been a very fun task with some very interesting routes for how short it was. Green Boobot. I am 1Ted59, signing off.